divine. It's your empowerment time.
The Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show with your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie Kay.
Hey everybody, welcome to Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show with your favorite holistic health coach. This is Carrie Kay. I have a great show coming up with the St. Pete Boss Girls, or Girl Bosses. I mean, sorry about that. Yeah, they're just amazing. I met them on I Love St. Pete. I also met them on this great group page that they have. I want to thank Dawn for the show today. Thank you so much, Dawn Reese, for your special beauty queen that comes on, special beauty queen special, and all the things that you've done to help me build this Living a Healthy Lifestyle show. So guys, so thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank our Heavenly Father for helping us to be able to rebuild after the last 2 years and come out of it and just be able to do what we need to do to help our families and our friends grow. And I know that you will be here with the words of wisdom today, Lord. Thank you so much for this show. And my first guest I want to talk about is Amanda, and she is a notary. So Amanda, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, I said that wrong. I meant to say, what's the name of the group?
So it's the St. Pete Girl Bosses.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And Sandy Bean, who will be joining us a little bit by phone, she'll tell you more about how she got her start with it. But the story is kind of a fun one. But I hopped in pretty early in the game. There were probably only, I don't even know if there was 100 girls yet. And now we're well over 1,400 girls. And everybody really wants to see each other succeed. We bounce business off of each other. And I really feel like we are like the biggest cheerleaders of one another. It's been so good. It's been such a blessing.
Wow.
You know? So usually when you get a big group of girls together, it isn't always the best experience. But in our case, it's actually been a blessing. It's been awesome. And it's one of those things where I think a lot of us feel like, God put us in these places on purpose.
Amen.
It's been good. It's been so
All
good.
right, Amanda. Well, I just have a few questions for you about your notary business.
Sure.
We have a few minutes before she calls in. So tell us, have you always wanted to be a notary, or how did you get started and all that to help people?
No, actually, I'm actually a classically trained chef, and I do all of your food allergy stuff. I've been working toward opening Simplicity Gluten-Free. So that's been what my goal has been since 2014. I've been through culinary school. I've been through business school. But in December, I realized I needed to pivot. I have a spinal cord injury, and then in March, I was in another car accident. I can't do the manual labor at this point. So in December, when I realized I needed to pivot because I can't open the restaurant right away, there's so many barriers at the moment. There's the money barrier. I've been working on raising money. I've got to GoFundMe and that sort of stuff, but it's just going slow. And then, there's, if I'm spending a bazillion hours a day in a restaurant, I'm not there for my family. And so I started researching what's, something that's pretty flexible that I can still be around for my family. I have a son that plays travel baseball. 2 of my kids play travel basketball. My daughter plays softball. I want to be there at the field. I want to be at the games. I don't want to miss anything. And so when I started doing my research, I was like, wait a minute. I could become a notary. I get paid usually the same day or not too long after, depending on what it is. Loan signing usually takes a little bit longer, but that's just the business. It pays pretty well. It's usually pretty flexible. Even though I'm working around other people's schedules, I can still do that, and still feed my family. So it's been a total blessing, to go from here's an idea, I think I'm going to do this, to getting all of my certifications, realizing that I'm actually way too educated to do what I'm doing, because you don't necessarily need a college degree to be a notary. But that business degree has helped me really grow it from something that's nothing to a flourishing business.
But God wants me to tell you that your business is going to flourish.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And you'll keep going on with what you're doing, and it will grow, and you will help a lot of people. Absolutely. I just wanted you to know that. And I'm appreciative to all the small businesses, no matter what business it is. But I'm excited to hear about this this food allergy. We had a guy on here, we took a test with you, Carrie.
Okay.
And I found out all these foods that I was allergic to.
Okay.
And
so what you allergic to?
Well, there was just a lot of things that I needed to get out of my diet and, regroup. And some of the things were like artichokes and stuff like that, which I'm like, artichokes, that's like my favorite.
Right.
So, but I have reintroduced them back into my lifestyle again, and everything's great.
Oh, good.
But what the test did is they showed me what was red to stay away from, what was yellow to have caution with, and then what was green that I could eat, right? And they said that the tests were also showing that things that you had a little bit more of, that you just needed to eliminate for a little while, and then kind of introduce them later on into your diet.
Right. So that's kind of what we're going through with our entire family. My husband refuses to get tested like every other guy out there. But the kids and I are all allergic to gluten. A couple of us are gluten and dairy. Some of us are corn. Some of us are nuts. Some of us are eggs. I mean, run the gamut of what you could be allergic to. It's crazy. So we went from like, okay, gluten-free, no big deal. Dairy-free, no big deal. Eliminate the corn. I was standing in the middle of my kitchen crying, trying to figure out what am I going to feed my kid, because almost all the gluten-free stuff has corn in it. And I was like,
oh, wow.
I don't even know what I'm going to make for dinner. And, and I'm looking through all the ingredients and stuff, and checking out the Corn Allergy Girl blog, because she's got a great list on there, because there's a bazillion different words for corn. So I'm looking at that and looking at what's in my kitchen going, we can't eat any of this anymore. I got to come up with something else. And so it was like, really get back to bare bones. I found a farm on the other side of Tampa, Oliver Heritage Farms, but Oliver is spelled funny. It's Olivor. Heritage Farms. They don't feed their animals corn or chicken, corn or gluten. So we buy our meat from them. They deliver over here on Fridays. They are amazing. And it's one of those things, if I say, hey, this is what I need, what's safe, they'll tell me exactly what's safe and what's not, which is great.
That is so awesome,
It's
Amanda.
such a blessing, because I was stressing out. Like, I walk through Publix and try to figure out what can we eat at Publix. Crap, we can't eat anything at Publix, at least in the meat department. And you would think, oh, well, if the animal eats it, it doesn't matter. Actually, it does in their case, because my kids were still reacting. But when we cut out the meat that the animals were eating, corn or gluten, they stopped reacting. Their skin cleared up. They weren't itchy all the time. Yeah. So it was one of those things where it's like, instead of going, oh gosh, I should probably throw this medication at it. No. Let's just try rearranging our diet.
Let's see what the problem is. Let's not cover the symptoms up. Let's see what the problem is.
Let's solve it. Right.
Oh, wow. That is sauce. That's just so awesome. You're going to have to give me that information.
I will.
Because I need to go to a farm too.
Oh, they're great. I was going to say they're kind of far away, so I would recommend having them delivered.
I've been struggling myself with what to eat.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is hard.
It's a tough world right now.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I really want to do is I want to improve accessibility to good allergy-free foods, because a lot of people hear gluten-free and they're like, oh, no, thank you.
Wow.
And I'm over here going, wait, have you been to Fresh Kitchen? Fresh Kitchen is awesome.
I know. I love Fresh Kitchen.
I will promote them all day long. I think they're amazing. Are they 100% completely safe for me? Probably not. I can eat fish, and I know they have fish on their line, but they're always very careful with everything that they give me. So that way they make sure I'm not getting sick. Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of concepts out there that are really great, but there aren't any that are a full-scale bakery, full-scale restaurant, and nobody has a rotisserie chicken that I can just pick up and grab. I haven't been able to just go anywhere, pick up a rotisserie chicken and take it home to my family in over 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
So we make it at home. So you can make it like a copycat version in the crock pot, or you can actually make a really great copycat version in the Instant Pot, but it's still... Sometimes
I love
nice.
that. I have an Instant Pot. How long does it take to cook the chicken?
Maybe an hour and a half. I mean, if you're cooking
in an
a whole
Instant
chicken,
Pot?
yeah, if you're cooking a whole chicken, it's not all day, which is nice, because if I do it in the Instant Pot, I'll prepare the chicken ahead. Actually, either way, I'll prepare the chicken ahead of time. I'll cover it and I'll put it in the fridge in the garage and let it hang out overnight, so that way all the seasonings and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Add more flavor.
Right.
I'll usually throw some onions and shallots, maybe either a lime or a lemon, or whatever happens to work with whatever the recipe is, and just roll with it. And then the next morning I'll just pop it in, push a button, and I walk away.
Oh wow, that
and then
sounds so
I might throw
easy.
on rice again, put it in there, push the button, walk away.
So your children are very tolerant to a lot of stuff, it sounds like. I mean, a lot of stuff
Yeah, there's a
bothers
lot that,
them.
there's a lot they can't eat. And so like when they're going to camp next week, I bring coolers with all of their food. I provide all of their food for pretty much everything. They don't buy food at school. When there's parties and stuff, I always ask for advance notice so that way I can make cupcakes or cookies or whatever it is that we're having, cake, whatever.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
great.
just so that way they're not missing out, because again, that's an accessibility issue.
Well, tell me a little bit
you know?
about this business that you want to start, because we have a minute before
Okay.
she calls in.
So, like I said, what I would really like to do is I would like to start a restaurant concept, again, geared toward folks with food allergies, but anybody can come dine with us. That would also be a sober bar. So,
Amen. 3 years.
I was going to say, just because I know so many people really struggle with that. But again, full scale bakery, full scale, restaurant that's international fusion that has a little bit of everything, but somewhere where somebody like me can go in and get a pizza that's safe for them to eat, or go in and get a rotisserie chicken, or go in and get, fried rice, or,
Well, a lot of us are finding out that our foods, they're making us sick.
yes.
So we have to do the research. We have to be educated. It's not easy, but we have to all go on this journey if we want to be healthy. And that's what the show is about. I work with a lot of people that have food allergies. This is going to be so great. Like, this test that we took was $60 from UCARI, and it showed those 3 things.
Right.
What is on the red list, what is on the yellow list, what's on the green list. So I love that concept. Well, we've got Sandy Bean on the line.
You sure do. How are you?
Oh, hi, Sandy. Say hi. Amanda's here with me today.
Amanda, how are you?
Hey, Sandy. I'm great. How are you? We missed you. Wish you were here with us in person.
Oh, wow, Sandy.
I
I'm just so happy. I just really wish you could have been in the studio, but that's okay. We got lots and lots of time for that. Prayers go out to Maddie, just so you know. We will keep her in our prayers. And but Amanda and I were just talking about her doing the food tolerancy things. I think that's so interesting, and how I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I'm really working towards those goals too, of helping people with food allergies.
It's such an interesting thing too, because my brother's a holistic doctor in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
And I helped him write his book, and I was his first, media specialist, I guess, back in 2003 when he started his company. And one of the things that he always tests for when people are having problems with their health, they can't lose weight, they have mood things going on, is not just allergies, but sensitivities. People don't even realize that they're sensitive to something if they're not having an allergic reaction. So that's always, one of the
Amen. Yeah, people don't realize that they're having an allergic reaction until it's too late. So, but Sandy, I'm so excited to welcome you to Living a Healthy Lifestyle show today. And I want to hear all about this group that you started with 100 people, and now God has just expanded it to like 1,400 and growing, right?
It's pretty crazy how it happened, and it's funny too, because when we think about living a healthy lifestyle, a lot of times, I don't know, I haven't been listening very long, but I bring in this, like, the idea of like mental health and community is just a theme that continuously comes back up in my life, because I was a teacher, since 2004. And so one of the things that I did as a teacher that was one of my major strengths was this ability to build relationships with kids of, all kinds of needs, all sorts of diversities. It's always been my favorite thing to do. I love it. So my homeroom every year is like this band of merry misfits, and it was always became like a family. And I moved mountains with a lot of these kids. And so I worked primarily, eventually with gifted students. And so when I stepped out of public education, I started this enrichment center for gifted students, because I was seeing anxiety disorders coming up in gifted kids and all these like mental health things, because their needs weren't really being properly addressed. But something I didn't anticipate is when I became a solo entrepreneur, I was lonely. Like, there's not a lot of support, right? When you work for yourself, it's like, to yourself.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So back in January, I was like, I really miss having a work family. And I had so many questions for people, and I didn't know where to go. And I was bothering the same 2 people I knew. So,
Amanda, right?
We didn't know each other just yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had a friend, her name's Alyssa. She's an organizer. She came over to my house, and
I love Alyssa.
Isn't she wonderful?
Yes.
She is so fabulous, and I love her. And I was sort of interacting with entrepreneurs sort of here and there to network, and I realized these are, these are my people. So Alyssa came up, gosh, I'd really love to meet some more female entrepreneurs. It'd be really cool. So I'm like, I'll start a Facebook group. So I woke up in the morning in January, and it was real early, like 4:30 before I got my kids ready for school. And I just went on Facebook, and I'm like, I'll just start a group. Like, I made like some logo that was just whatever out of nowhere, slapped it on there and thought, yeah, this is good. I invited the 5 people I knew that were female entrepreneurs. So by the next day we were at like 100, and then so forth. And our first event, I think we had 20 people, and it's just grown. 3 months in, we were at 1,000. Now we're at 1,300. We
Wow.
about 60 people at our coffees. And what I noticed, though, is that sense of community is protective. It's like, not having support and having that community is one of the major mental health risks for entrepreneurship and the reasons why people quit. And so you talk about having a healthy lifestyle, having a safety network of people who get you is a huge part of that.
We all need to be supported in what we're out there doing every day. It's not easy. I can testify to that. So when you talk about mental things, I'm writing a book right now called Living a Healthy Lifestyle. And the first step is mindset. I work with the battlefield of the mind with people. What are you thinking about, right? Like we all thinking. So it's, and sometimes it's not easy to be controlled, but we can actually change that up by listening to inspirational things that I'll listen to, pick up the Bible, start reading it, and I get these messages. So, I mean, mental awareness is really huge. And that's great that you believe that too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's huge. And, I like the idea of mindset as well, because it's important that, you understand that other people have been where you are, and nothing is impossible. Success is possible for anybody. And having that, your eye on the prize is so important. So just having that support and understanding that you've got people around you.
Yeah. And you guys meet up all the time and do events and have fun. And I'm getting married, girl. And that is the only reason why I have not gotten involved yet. You got to understand. But boy, once that wedding's over with, I'm definitely going to go to one of the coffees or go to one of the events and hang out with you guys and do some more stuff on the radio with you, because I really respect what you guys are doing to help a whole lot of people to grow their small businesses.
It's so important. One of the things too, and we had talked about this earlier, Carrie, you and I, was is we're trying to come up and develop a wellness program, because most entrepreneurs, especially when they're starting out, unless they're married to someone that has a corporate job, they don't have health insurance and they don't have mental health benefits and wellness program or anything like that. And it's very difficult to take that fearful leap into a business of your own. So I'm trying to put a wellness program into place where they have, crisis mental health care, sliding scale mental health fees,
Oh, you're amazing. I teach on alkalining the body. I teach on nutrition, the 80-20 rule. I teach on exercise and sleep. So that's my 5-step program is.
Exactly. So women need that. They need access to those kinds of programs. And
it all starts with mindset.
Yeah.
And we have to drink lots of water. And
I'm the worst at that.
I turned my health around by starting to drink chlorophyll, a plant-based substance. And I'm giving that advice to my clients too. Of course, you have to start out slow, little bitty drops in your water, but water is the life of the Lord, and it just flows through our body like a waterfall. And it's really important. Yeah. Very important. Half your body weight in water. It ain't easy. All right, Sandy. Well, wow. So we have just a few minutes left. So anything that you want to talk about, girls, just throw it out there.
Actually, Sandy, can you tell her about the Bean Center? Because you guys haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. So my original foray into entrepreneurship, it came as an instructor, as a teacher. One of the things I'm most passionate about with children is making sure that they get what they need. And in teaching public school for years, all 4 of my kids are gifted. And, I almost hate to use the term gifted because it's got this identification with it that's almost elitist, right? Oh, that kid's gifted, they're going to be fine. But what most people don't realize is gifted students actually are neurodiverse. Their brains are made differently. And the further you get away from having a standard IQ, like a typical IQ, the more different the brain is. The connections are different. There's more gray matter. There's the corpus callosum is connected to the brain in a different way. And so they have these propensities to be more highly sensitive, to see relationships where others don't. And they feel very different from their peers. So not only are these kids capable of beautiful, creative, wonderful thinking, but school is not set up to meet their needs or address that. And it was something I saw time and time again. So when I left the regular classroom, I said, we need to do something about this because most teachers and even parents aren't aware. So I started the Bean Center for Gifted Enrichment and Support, and I do programming that is independent projects. With students individually, I do classes with parents and students on what it means to be gifted and how it can impact your life. I work with teachers, administrators, just to kind of help gifted kids live their best possible outcome. So
well, you're a busy person, you and Amanda. You guys are both really busy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're doing what you love, it doesn't feel like work, right? My kids.
No, I don't feel like I'm working when I'm on the radio or when I'm on live or when I'm doing shows and things like that. It doesn't feel like work to me. When we're out there helping people and actually changing people's lives, which is what you're doing, that is just so awesome. And I can't wait to have you on the show to talk a little bit more about it. And how many boss girls are wanting to come on the show and do a show?
Oh gosh, I'm sure.
I'm sure a bunch. Yeah, I posted in the group a couple of times and said, hey, Sandy and I are going to be on this. And then like a couple of the girls have been like, wait a minute, this might be good for you. Hey, and the only reason I noticed it was because you had Jamie on.
Jamie Anderson.
Jamie is one of us. And
yeah, actually, I had her partner on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
The one that teaches everything.
Yes.
I meet so many people. You'll have to remind me of his name again.
I'm the worst. Jamie's.
It's Brian.
Brian.
And the reason I remember is because I'm getting married to a Brian. It is Brian. His name is Brian, and he teaches self-defense. And so, that is how I met.
Yeah,
I met you guys because she invited me to the page, and I just feel so honored to be a part of this group.
Yeah, their company is called Weapon Brand, and they're also part of our Girl Bosses group.
Yeah,
she does a lot of really great workshops, and she's super passionate about people understanding that physical safety is also part of living well. And she just really wants people to understand that it's not difficult to protect yourself, but be prepared for it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So have you guys thought about doing an event? Because the radio do help you with those kind of things. So
we've done
just so you know,
lots of events.
We've done a lot of things.
We're hoping to move. Yep, or open rather. We have a prom coming up in July, an 80s prom.
What? I can wear my Madonna stuff. It's so cool. I don't really care for Madonna anymore, but I'm just saying, like the whole 80s things with the big earrings. I know the songs, some of the songs she sang were really cool in the 80s too.
It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast.
When is this?
That's mid-July, around the 20th. We also have a pitch contest in August, co-sponsored by Working Women of Tampa Bay, and the top prize is $1,000 for businesses under 3 years old. That's coming up. We have a ton of stuff. We do, not only personal growth and fun social things, but also a lot of entrepreneurial classes too, things to help people.
I would love to teach my 5-step program to the world.
Yeah.
Let's set up a workshop.
Yes. Living a healthy lifestyle is the name of everything. You have to go out and brand yourself, especially after what happened in the last 2 years. And I lost my whole house cleaning business, which is back up and running again for my extra money, which is good. And it keeps me physically fit. But doing this whole health coaching, that's my real passion. Helping people with mindset and habits of drinking water and eating great nutrition, exercise, and sleep.
Something that you might find helpful, we have a Facebook ad specialist who actually does a lot of online work. She's incredible. Her name is Jen Posick. She's doing a series of 3 workshops in June that are about targeted Facebook ads, finding the people who need you and that kind of stuff.
That sounds interesting. She could be on the show.
Yeah,
She's
she'd be a good one.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually booked until the end of the end of June, and I'm booking for July and August. But girl, I had so many people to get back to on just I Love St. Pete.
Yeah.
Now I've got this group, and
Yeah,
I'm like, I need to do more shows.
there you go.
That sounds like a great plan. Let's do it.
Yeah. So Sandy, tell us about how they can get in touch with you and Amanda before time's up here. We just got a minute, so you guys take each a minute.
Me personally, you can find on Instagram at think_bean. You can also find the Bean Center online at www.beancentergifted.org. You can also find us at St. Pete Girl Boss on Instagram, or you can find us our Facebook group. We are Global Girl Boss, or the group is called St. Pete Girl Bosses. So you can find us in any.
All right. And Amanda, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Amanda Leffler Notary Services, and my last name is spelled Loeff as in Frank, Ler. It's a tough last name. Or if you just Google Amanda Leffler Notary, or just Amanda Notary, or even St. Pete Notary, I should pop up, or Tampa Bay Area Notary. I'm also on Instagram, although I'm not super active on there. It's Amanda_Leffler_Notary. And I'm on, pretty much all your social media. You can find me.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you girls for being on today, Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show. It's been such a pleasure to hear about what you guys are doing to help people. I'm in it for the small businesses. I am a small business. Thank you so much for being on, Sandy. Appreciate you so much. Can't wait to meet you and come to one of your things,
Thank you, Carrie.
And thank you
Thanks for
guys
having
so very much today for being on.
Our pleasure. Take care.
You too. And guys, thank you for watching Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show, another Tuesday edition of what we can do to help everyone out there to live that healthy lifestyle. Don't miss next week's show. We will surprise you on what's going on. Take care. Have a great day. God bless.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, everybody, this is Pastor Marcia McAllister